Okay, Discord just decided, music decided to say, fuck it, we're stopping. We're not doing any more music. So
That's it.
that's it. I mean, it's fine. I was gonna mute anyway, Spotify. So thanks. Welcome in everybody, and welcome to episode number 55 of the Pre-Patch Podcast. After a little bit of a hiatus, we are back. We had to take an extra week because I was out of town and we had stuff going on, so it just couldn't line up. But it's gonna be a banging show. We always come back strong and have a shit ton of topics to talk about and rush to get finished and all that good stuff. You know, I mean, it's the professionalism here. That's the only thing that we do, only thing we know. So, we are officially live across all channels again. Enigma is back. What's going on, Enigma?
Finally.
Yeah, man.
What's up?
Well, we got him authenticated literally as we were supposed to go live, so that's great. So, you know, again, nothing but professionalism here in this show. Bill, how you doing, buddy?
Yeah. How you doing, man?
Beard's looking sexy as always.
Yeah.
I like it. Growing it out.
Yeah.
It could be gone here soon.
It very could be. It very could
be gone.
I think you are officially longer in beard than I am right now. I had to cut it back a little bit. It was bugging me.
Yeah. This is if things go well, it'll be gone, and I'm honestly a little bit happy about that because it's starting to warm up in my area and it's been getting real bad.
Man, I think I honestly got you all beat. So
Scruffy, that dirt patch that you call a fucking beard is nothing, but I don't know what.
I gotta go back outside and grab some more dirt.
It's right. Like, I don't know.
Slap it on.
You just put some Gorilla Glue on there and just like go and just like dab it in dirt or some crap. I don't know. So dab. And obviously Scruffy's here. What's going on, Scruffy?
What's up, everybody? We are here.
Yes. And obviously I'm here. I'm tired. It's been a long couple weeks, man. Dude, like flying from West Coast to East Coast or East Coast to West Coast back to and forth, man. It's a lot.
How do we know you're not still on the West Coast and this isn't like a very sophisticated pre-recording?
It's a variant, yeah. Actually, this is a variant. It's not really me. It's an alternate universe me. So,
are we getting into the fucking like
multiverse theory?
I wasn't thinking multiverse. I was thinking the like that one like ARG with the fake people. I can't remember what it's called. It's not the Gemini Project, but it's something similar.
People.
No, it's just some horror YouTube shit.
Well, still we're gonna be all doing this from the metaverse, so it's okay. So
that's true.
That stuff's on the decline, my guy.
Oh, it's all great.
Big drop skis.
Nah, bro, I bought it. I'm now Zuckerberg.
You're the owner of Meta.
Yep.
Wow.
So you're what, Jeff? You're Amazon. You're Zuckerberg. What else are you?
He has part ownership of Craig because we also
I am the world.
Craig is here too, by the way, guys. We don't.
That's true. Craig is here. We don't forget about Craig.
Craig's
our
always
Chinese overlord will shut us down if we don't talk.
Always
nothing
listening.
but sweet nothings in his ear.
And obviously, of course, our wonderful chat is here. What is going on, everybody in the chat?
Yeah, hi guys.
We are live across, like I said, all of our channels, and we do this live every other Thursday at 10:30 p.m. Eastern. And so, if you're wanting to join us, make sure you hop in either my stream, Scruffy stream, Enigma stream, or Bill's stream over on YouTube. What was that?
That one gave me cold chills.
What?
I hate that. Okay, moving on.
Huh?
I got sneezed and it gave me cold chills.
I thought me talking about the streams gave you cold chills. I was like, that's weird. That is a weird tick, man.
I guess the sneeze didn't get picked up on the mic, so that's good for the earphone users. And then I just moaned awkwardly, so that's also weird.
Great. Can we get a clip of that, please? That needs to be a soundboard.
The podcast is so good it made me nut live.
Wow, Bill is on something special, bro.
Live, baby.
So we do this.
Speaking of nut,
do this live. Oh my god! For everybody that's not in
lightly salted nuts,
nuts,
sponsored,
nuts.
But
yeah. Everybody that's not in the live stream and listening to this after the fact, like he's talking about almonds. I need to make sure that everyone's.
He just holds a jar up like.
That's all the more reason for you guys to watch this shit
man.
live.
You guys know this is like we have like 9 things to get through, plus quick hits and games we've played, and we're already derailed.
We're on our traditional derail of the start of the stream. It always has to happen.
I want just one stream where we don't get derailed. Okay.
And
Well, anyway,
I just gotta say that I do have a nut jar over here as well. I'm not
what?
gonna lie.
Enigma's more of a peanut guy.
I am, yeah. Salted peanuts to be exact.
Heavily or lightly?
You know,
I love
it
how much
depends on
we're
the day.
dragging this on.
All right. All right. What's the first topic, then?
Welcome to the Nutcast. Anyway, you can catch us also on anchor.fm/prepatch podcast. If you want to check us out there or any of your podcast apps, we are on there as well. Please go in there. Even if you listen to us live, subscribe, maybe throw on a playthrough once or twice. You know, if you're going to bed, everybody wants to listen to our voice when you sleep. It's the best thing ever. It's like the most authentic white noise you possibly can get, because everybody wants to hear Bill talking about his nuts as they fall asleep.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I
anyway.
just realized, honestly, my mom watches this podcast. This
Is great.
All right, Scruffy's mom. But again, let's just reiterate this. He knew this shit before we fucking met him. So, you know, this is actually
These
it's
guys
kind of
taught
on
me
your
everything I know.
end, you know.
I have proof that's not the truth.
Yeah.
I have proof of that. Yeah, so okay, kicking off into episode number 5, we always talk about Twitch news, and I really thought, I was like, you know what, this week we're not gonna have like this. It's been 3 weeks, man. We have to have something. And then it was like getting closer, and I was like, oh no, there's nothing. And then Enigma drops this bomb on us that apparently there's a very strong rumor going around that Twitch will in fact be testing out, and again, it has not been confirmed, but the leaks and sources are pretty accurate that there will be an 18 plus section of Twitch launched. So
for years, just add it in there to get it over with.
Yep. So, you know, whether or not this is going to be a positive or negative, I don't know. It's an interesting.
Personally, I'm all for it. Like, just own that shit. Make the category.
Yeah, I mean, it's. Do you think that they will do Twitch after dark, or do you think that it will be like a Twitch.tv / like?
If they were smart, they would have
salty
it,
nuts.
Like, they would have a secondary site for it. That way, I feel like it would be cleaner with advertisers if they went about it that way instead of having.
The problem with that is that I don't think that they would actually use it if it was on a separate site, because then everybody
wouldn't have the traffic if it was on a secondary site. I'm sure it would be cleaner. It would be better with sponsors and advertisers, but I don't know.
We already know that like advertisers are going to blacklist that category, just like they blacklisted the hot tub.
Yeah, that was one of the reasons why I was kind of like, I don't know if it's going to work out, because the whole reason for like these titty streamers actually being on the site is because they don't want to go to those other sites because they're blacklisted from advertising. They, you know, specific advertisers will advertise on there, but they're not the ones that are paying the big bucks, right? The ones that are paying the big bucks are like Coca-Cola, you know, Budweiser, the ones that don't want to be associated with that kind of content.
Yeah, but how much of that money? I don't think that they're making a massive amount of money.
I think most of it comes off donos.
Yeah, it's not coming from ad revenue. So I mean, the reason that it's there is right. It's in a business mindset of saying like, hey, there's an allure to it, right? Like you're not getting nudity right now. You're getting as close to it as you possibly can without getting banned. And then if you want the nudity, then you can go to subscribe to my OnlyFans account, you know, or whatever. So if there's a way for them to transition their Twitch subs and stuff like that into their like nub subs or whatever they're going to call them, or, you know, I don't know, whatever on Twitch, I think it's a lucrative business for them. And I do think that a lot of people will move themselves over to that.
I don't know.
I wonder how far they're going to take it. You know, if they're honestly going to keep it in quotations a soft core.
I don't think.
Again, this is all just rumors. We don't fucking know what's actually going to happen.
I don't think that it would go full blown like corn on the cob.
The thing you got to remember about it is that yes, they're not getting a lot of money from like advertising and everything like that, but they are getting a lot of exposure to advertising companies, right? There's a reason why Amaranth was able to be on G4TV. And it's not because of her fucking content.
Well, no, but I mean at the same, but like the thing about it is that it's, I mean, we all know, like, look, like, and I mean, advertisers know, like, it's not like advertisers are immune to, sex selling, right? Like, I mean, you look at, if you look at, fucking, or not Burger King, it was Hardee's commercials back when Paris Hilton was popular. I mean, it was like her in a damn bikini on top of a car with cheese and shit dripping all over her. Like, it was, so I mean, it's not like they, like
The old Hardee's commercials, I forgot about those.
yeah, man,
Carl's
like,
Jr.
yeah, like those are have always been around, you know what I mean? And so, it's
That wasn't even that long ago.
no, it's so I mean the idea here that they wouldn't advertise it, I think that they would just they're opening themselves to a different type of advertisement. And going back to Scruffy's thing, I think it would be more on the, like, they will allow for nudity, they will allow for, or like a more constrained nudity, like lingerie. I don't think that they're gonna allow for like full blown, full frontal kind of stuff. Like, I think that they would probably allow for a more like lingerie style kind of nudity.
Yeah.
Kind of close. Like they like I imagine it would be not be as far as, like, if you look at like social media platforms that allow that, like Twitter is full blown, do whatever the fuck you want. Right. And then you have Instagram, which is like you can't have nudity, but you can get pretty close to it. I think it would probably fall in between that. So it would be like this.
Twitter's weird with their shit though, because they don't like straight up ban or anything, but they will shadow ban the shit out of you.
Yeah. So it's interesting, as to where they go with this and what this does mean. I think that it's a situation where, like, they definitely have to play their cards pretty right here, because if they do screw it up, like, it has a major backlash section that I don't know if you just go and say, we tried it out and now we're cutting it. Oh shit. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that you could just get away with just cutting it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
And not having some type of backlash from it. So, I mean, I
think they're gonna have to refine their age verification significantly. If they go this route.
I mean, if they go that route and allow it to be on the same site, then absolutely.
Yeah,
like,
they're
that
gonna need to refine their age
more
verification.
Yeah. Because I mean,
I don't know if they'd have to go the same route that OnlyFans did, where they have to, like, you have to heavily prove your age. But
I mean, there's definitely.
How does OnlyFans do that? I don't even know.
I don't know.
Well, if you want to be a creator on OnlyFans, you have to, like, have, like, uploaded. They force you to upload, like,
some sort of ID
verification. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, there is software.
I'm trying to find the article that I read about it, because they were talking about it was like an addendum to their new TOS shit, and I can't find the article. I should have posted the article when I talked about it.
I mean, the thing about it is that there are algorithms, there are programs out there that can, pull from a copious amount of, like, data and sites and stuff like that to actually build out an age verification for you, to say, like, hey, like, you're of this age. And Twitch already has those integrations, like, linked, like, to, your Epic account, to whatever. Not saying that it's not easy to lie on that, right? But, like, if they were to go and do those kind of things, they could easily go in and say, hey, this does not show for anybody that is under this age, and then this category is there for anybody that is of that age. Whether or not they're going to put the thought and time into that, I highly doubt it. Like, I just don't see them doing that, because they don't seem to put time and thought into any fucking thing that they do when it comes to releasing these kind of things. So I don't know. It's a very interesting thing. I mean, again, I think we all have agreed that, like, look, like, I think Twitch, like, needs this kind of culling of this kind of stuff, like, because right
here. Right here. It was 6 days ago. Twitch is testing major changes to its maturity tag. Twitch has not confirmed these changes, although they've been approved. It could allow broadcasters to stream more potentially sexually suggestive. I said submissive for some reason. Content without consequences if they respect the pending guidelines. And some of the changes are, like, educational sexual health in a greater topic. I don't know what the fuck that means, but okay.
So what that
sex ed on Twitch? Hell yeah.
We're gonna have sex ed on Twitch.
Well, no, but that's what a lot of, like, like, how people get around blocks on certain sites that do not allow nudity, but they say that this is, like, sexual education.
Yeah.
So
this one,
I can already foresee a lot of loopholes with this sort of thing. I bet we'll even see a return of, like, the breastfeeding
Oh,
streamers,
100%. Yeah. No,
or
100%.
anything along those lines. I'm sure
I
they'll
think
definitely.
there's actually a part of it, a part of this in here that they were talking about, like reproductive stuff. So I'm
Yeah, I
sure
mean
that's
the
probably
pro
something about it.
like the thing is like we've all said like this needs to happen, but at the same time, like it is one of those things is how like if they I don't see them creating a new site because if they do that, then
No,
it's
it
There
that
won't be
it
a, there won't be
from
traffic.
what this is saying, they're looking at rehauling the mature tag. So right now, the problem with Twitch is that you can put the 18 plus tag on your stream, but it does fuck all,
Right, it
right?
doesn't do
Like
anything.
it doesn't actually do anything to stop you from being suggested to people that are not of the age to watch your content, right? And half the time, most of the people that are on this site don't actually put an 18 plus tag on their fucking on their stream in the first place. Like if you go and watch some of the top streamers, they're not running with the 18 plus tag. Even though technically they probably should be, they're not.
right.
And that's the problem that they're running into right now. That's what Twitch is trying to look at. They're like, right now the mature guideline or the mature content tag is not being used as it should be being
I
used.
hope they don't, just revamp the current mature tag and they just add another one that's more, I don't know, extreme for those conditions. Because
Yeah,
I'm using the mature tag, but only simply because
Triple
of
extreme tag.
yeah,
Well,
or
it's-
something
yeah,
like
but
that.
but it's something
you and I use the mature tag because we know that
Or
we
language,
use
or,
language
yeah,
or
exactly.
content
What we
topics that we
talk
talk
about
about,
on
like we were
stream.
talking
Yeah,
about the other
exactly.
night, right?
But I don't want people to come into my stream and be like, "This guy's a mature stream,"
Yeah.
like, and now the mature tag means all of a sudden like there's nudity and there's all this other stuff. I'm like,
Yeah.
no, that's not my stream.
wait.
So
I don't get a
this-
nude
I just
scruffy.
play shit.
I don't get a nude
Sorry, no, not
God.
anytime soon.
Dang it.
So this basically this article is saying is that Twitch has long had a mature tag that gives some streams the possibility of access to stream to the stream by age tags, and they're looking at a new policy that would make a post dark category essentially an after dark category. So essentially what you were saying earlier, which could still be heavily regulated by many of Twitch's current rules regarding sexual content. Streamers under this mature category could not broadcast either sex or anything that's related to those things, but we'll see. I don't know about that.
I don't know.
If with the start of this, I can only see it going down further and further throughout the years.
That's what I'm saying.
You know?
It's one of those things where it's
Definitely
like
not.
it's like the hot tub. The hot tub matter. That was pushed forward. Twitch made the hot tubs and
Right.
beaches and all that shit because streamers were using that shit and they were abusing it, and they had to figure out a way to basically push for them to be in their own category, which Twitch is really good about making band-aids like this, and unfortunately that's all of this is, the band-aid. Again, I think that what they need to do is I agree with you. I think they need to have their own website for it, but I don't think that they're going to do that, unfortunately.
No, because I don't. Again, unless say like the only play here that I think that would be intelligent for them to do, and I still don't even think it's going to clean up this stuff on Twitch. And honestly, I don't think there is a way for them to clean it up on Twitch. Like I just think that unless they just go full blown like strict kind of mode with everything, I don't see them getting these streamers off of here. Unless they were to buy only, like even if they buy OnlyFans though, I just don't see where it stops. Like, right? Like because people are just gonna try to abuse the situation. They're just gonna try to push the envelope. I mean, and look, I commemorate Amaranth, right? I commemorate these streamers because they've found a niche, they found a loophole, they found something, they found a business tactic that works, and they're like, look, I can skirt the line. What are you gonna do to me, right? There's nothing you can do, and unless Twitch is just gonna go full blown crackdown, saying, hey, you like tank tops and that's it, and it's a a 5-inch width from your whatever, but then you're just got people screaming that they're being, abusive and, controlling and sexist. I mean, I don't know. I don't like, so it's just, yeah. But if they release an After Dark section 2, I foresee a huge exodus. Like, I think YouTube will sit back and go, fuck yes. Like, absolutely, because people are going to be like, I'm not going to stream on this platform where there's an After Dark section and people are basically getting corn, and I'm gonna go over to YouTube, and go over there. So
this whole thing, it's a rocky road. Like there's a lot.
The problem with that way of thinking though is that YouTube is just as bad.
Yeah, but YouTube. But what I'm saying is YouTube is if they're gaming content creators, they're going over there. They're not risking anything, right? Like as far as like demonetization for certain topics, like certain things. But like you're not going to see these type, like I'm not gonna see Amaranth over go on you like stream on YouTube. Like it's not gonna happen. Like her content maybe get uploaded to YouTube, but like you're not gonna see her stream on YouTube. You know what I mean? Like so that if the site turns into that, you will see an exodus of the original Plank owners and what the Twitch community used to be move. Like they will go somewhere else.
Nah, I doubt it personally, but
I don't know. Anyway, so that's Twitch news. Anything on the YouTube side, Bill? You got any news on the YouTube side? They've been staying kind of quiet lately.
We're still in limbo with YouTube gaming. With no new news. I still don't think they've got anybody to fill that one dude's position. But other than that, it's the usual. YouTube comment sections are back to being overrun by bot accounts. So
nice.
That's shit.
Awesome.
And that's not just like the live stream comments. That's like big streamers like chats. Like you can go through and it's like the same comments over and over from the same accounts.
I'm wondering
that comments on their videos.
I wonder if that was a problem prior to these larger streamers coming over there. So prior to like Doc and Tim and all of them going over there.
I don't know if it was.
I don't know as much.
But like I said, it's in the VOD comments, and from what I've gathered from watching a few people talk about it, because I know Moist Critical's made a video about it, some Ordinary Gamers made a video on it, Jacksepticeye's made a video on it. It seems like they are farming subscribers through comment sections to get an account verified, and then they sell the verified accounts.
Huh. Interesting. Okay. Well, hey guys, you can always buy your followers, become famous. And we see it all the time. Become famous. One day you too could be on the Pre-Patch podcast. Well, that's how we got here. We bought all our followers. So.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Yeah. What you got something to say?
Nope. That's it.
That was it. That's it. Buy your followers. All right. Good to know. All right. Well, it is that time of the show where we go over and we talk about games that we've been playing. We should get music for this, like do 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 do.
We should.
Right.
Or we can just have you do that every time.
every time.
All right. So we're gonna start it off with Billy Boo. You have been playing shocker, Elden Ring.
And I've played through about probably 90% of the contents of the game. So
by the way, if you are playing Elden Ring and you don't want to be spoiled, you may want to mute for a little bit. I don't, or just turn away from the screen.
Mute or turn away. Yeah, it's a no context boss, but it is an end game boss that is going to be playing if you're watching live.
And we lost one of our hosts. All right.
Oh no, there's boss.
Yeah.
This boss is a bitch.
So why this boss specifically are we watching?
He's an asshole.
Because this boss is dope as hell.
He's got those locks. Maybe I could do something like that.
So that's not his hair. That is a. He's got a. Have you watched JoJo's?
It looks like he's got like some kind of spirit thing attached to
like
him.
It's basically a stand. It's a giant like ethereal like lion warrior.
I see now. Yeah.
He's an asshole, man.
That's wild.
It's such a good fight, and honestly, like every boss in this game, like out of the mainline bosses, has very much surprised me and very much impressed me with how From Software just continues to up and up and up their boss design.
You know what? Can I just say? Can I just really quick to say?
Like you said, can I just shat?
Fuck the Academy, bitch, man. I hate that shit.
Too much kiting and spells.
Yeah, man, that was bullshit.
It's but yeah, I played about probably 85-90% of Elden Ring's content. There's a lot of side content that isn't like necessary. Like 80% of the game is like side content, which I think is an interesting thing. It's similar to Bloodborne in that regard, where you can skip a lot of the content, and I think it makes, like, now that the game is going into a month old and people are getting replays and stuff in on it, what was once overwhelming is now kind of it's a lot more digestible that way, because you can just focus in on specifically what you wanted your build to be, and you don't like nothing makes you go through every single mine or dungeon unless you need the materials for it.
That's a very true, like, just open world RPG formula in general. Like, you see it with every other RPG, like Skyrim or any Bethesda game, really. So I think it's a smart move for them to do something like that.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, the game's doing really well. People are still enjoying it. It has like had a drop in player count, but it's still hitting
Yeah, duh.
extremely
Yeah.
high numbers for a primarily single player game. It's fucking wild.
Yeah, I got burnt
Um,
out on it. I put in like 50, 60 hours and was like, all right,
Yeah.
I played
Taking
way
a
too
break.
much. Yeah.
Are you gonna come back to it?
Oh yeah. I'll come back to it at some point. But
Gotcha. One thing I will say is the PC port of this game is the worst PC port that From Software has put out with like any of their games, even like worse than the OG Dark Souls or Dark Souls Remastered. And
It's gotten
it
better
started-
though, has it?
Yeah, I
At this point, like they've worked some
in
kinks
some
out.
ways. So graphically and frame rate wise, the game is a lot more stable than it used to be.
I honestly didn't
So-
have any issues with it, really.
I did.
Like,
Yeah, and a lot
like-
of people didn't, but the people that did have issues, it was like certain combinations of like CPU and GPU that were having like the big issues with it.
I had.
I'm sure that if I would have
like
been
this,
I had terrible
I'm,
issues with it.
what'd you have
Mhm.
issues with?
I had really bad stuttering, like terrible stuttering and loading issues. Like I would go into an area and it would not like, and it would like textures would not load, and then it was just like terrible, like
first week, right?
terrible stuttering. Like
Yeah.
I don't know.
couldn't-
Maybe it's because I didn't buy it the first week. I bought it like a couple days after. So the patch. The
Yeah,
patches had come
they had
through,
like a day one patch, and then like 3 days later they had another stability patch, and
Yeah.
this most recent patch has fixed a lot of that issue for the PC patch or for the PC port, but the issues that they're having right now, and there is still some of these issues on the console, but they're to a much lesser extent, is online connectivity for the co-op and the PvP.
Oh, I forgot about that. That is one of the biggest issues that I had was like
It is
literally one of my friends could not connect and stay connected to me. Like
Yeah,
no matter
that's-
what
so-
fucking happened. Like we tried multiple different things. We went and did some troubleshooting and he could not stay connected to me at all.
Yeah, so I'm playing through co-op with a couple of the people in my community, and it's literally every 5 to 10 minutes, like in a group of 3 of us co-oping, one of us
Yeah.
disconnects, and we have to
It
run
wasn't
back
even
and
5,
resummon them
man.
in.
It was like on clockwork. Like within a minute of him entering my game, he was out.
Well, a question: doesn't that use a resource that you have to use each time you want to connect to each other?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah, it's not that big of a deal though, because
it's pretty easy to make, but it does use the little.
it takes
the little,
2 flowers, and
flowers,
you can
yeah.
craft them into the fertile calling finger remedy, and there's like at least 2 by every single side of grace that you
Oh.
have, at least through the early
Yeah.
game. So
Okay.
you can
I
stock up on
literally
like
took
70
like
some.
Yeah, I was about to say I literally took like an hour one day and just went around and gathered as much as I could and got like 120 or something.
Oh, I don't know. I've not done. I mean, I've only attempted online one time, and that was it.
Game's easy,
So-
bro.
Shut up. You're playing. You're playing co-op with 2 other people, fucker. I don't want to hear about it.
Bro, don't even
No.
start. With me,
He's
bro.
trying to play co-op. So that is the biggest issue that I am seeing with this game, and it is egregious. Like it is
and across
the
all
worst
consoles and-
experience.
and whatnot.
So I've played it co-op on PS5, and I've played co-op on PC. I've had no disconnecting issues on PS5. Have heard from people commenting on my YouTube videos and stuff that they do still have issues on PS5, but it's to a much lesser extent.
Gotcha.
But I've heard nothing but consistently like bad issues from the.
Probably their netcode not working with Steam's netcode.
I think it's easy anti-cheat myself.
That's
I think
very
that-
possible too. Easy anti-cheat is a terrible anti-cheat program.
I
Like,
think that
ridiculously
there's
bad.
something because, like you were saying, it's like clockwork. With you, it was a little
Yeah.
bit faster. With us, it's like every 5 to 10 minutes. Like, but
Well,
it
we
does
we
seem
thought we
like-
thought about that too. We were like, oh, I wonder if it's easy anti-cheat. So we turned off like Steam overlay, fucking Discord overlay, stuff like that. Any kind of overlay, any kind of like AVG antivirus shit that you have running on the background. Nothing, dude. Nothing would work. I don't know what the hell it
Yeah,
was.
it's really bad. It's really bad, and I feel bad for anybody that bought this game on PC to play with a friend. I
Yeah.
felt so bad that I made a video about it just because I wanted to kind of put it out there that hey, if you want to play co-op, don't get it on the PC. It's terrible.
It
Um,
is really fun though with when you can get the co-op working. Like the co-op
when you
does
can
is
get the co-op
extremely fun.
working, it is in a disjointed kind of way. I still feel like it's a little bit
Yeah.
like
They
weird
needed
and
they needed to
dated.
smooth it out a little bit. The fact that you had to like resummon your people whenever you wanted to go in a dungeon, even though they were already in the
Yeah,
fucking world, was weird.
unless we're doing like a world boss or something, we tend to just like independently ride to the dungeons and then meet up at
Yeah.
the dungeons because there's no point in going open world like stuff.
Because you can't
And
mount
a
up,
lot of
right?
people in the
Yeah, you
community are
can't mount up.
hoping
Yeah.
a lot of people are hoping that eventually that they either through a DLC or through like
I'm
an
sure somebody will
online
mod it.
patch or somebody will mod it, but you'll have to disable easy anti-cheat and all that stuff. But be
That
able
was one thing
to
that I did want to ask you as well was like what did they have easy anti-cheat in the
no,
previous
this is the
versions?
first one.
Why
This
You
is the
what
think
first
that was
one.
a
Because
what
direct
was the
response to
yeah, it's a
that,
response
that
to
issue
the
that
issue
was
that they
happening
It
with
was
had.
a
Dark Souls?
response to the RCE exploit that
what
they
was
found like a few
Yeah.
months beforehand.
what was like the going through their head when they were like, "Hey, let's look at anti-cheats. What's the best one that we
They
can find?" Oh, easy anti-cheat
that's
for
not what
sure.
went through
They
their
were
head.
looking
They
for the
were just
best,
basically
but
going, "Hey, I need an anti cheat that's going to function, that's
yeah.
cheap and quick, and we can
Well,
implement
you
it." And they went with
definitely
it.
Yeah,
didn't go through fucking easy anti-cheat because it's not easy and quick.
Well, I'm saying it's easy and
and
quick for them to initiate. Like,
the problem with it also is it doesn't seem like it. I'm assuming that people are getting banned quicker than what they were from the Bandai Namco and from software having to independently like
Yeah.
account search.
I just
But
I don't know how they're gonna do modding because like aren't these games like all big about modding? That was like a huge deal with them.
yeah, but the modding community, like the mods for these games, have been very rarely co-op or PvP centered, um, and they're still most likely even before if you ran a mod, it was better off for you to have like a secondary Steam account for you to run the mod on because you would most likely get
See, that shouldn't be the case though. Like I don't know. That just rubs me the wrong way personally.
yeah, no, I completely get it. The workaround before was just have a secondary Steam account, and then if your account did get banned, the way From Software does their bans is they don't ban you from online
It was like a
connectivities
shadow
altogether.
ban. Yeah.
They make it so you can only pair up with other people put on their ban list.
Yeah.
So
They do hacker lobbies, which is the right way to ban, in my opinion.
But not
yeah,
for
and
modding.
not
Not
for
for modding.
modding.
I'm saying for just bans in general. No, I know
Yeah.
it sucks that they do ban for modding, but
Yeah,
modding can
but
also be
that's
used
what
as an
you're gonna
exploit
get.
in PvP. So
Yeah, that's what you're gonna get when you have a co-op to PvP. In the weird invasion system, it makes it so that they have to go through methods like this.
so
But
do
yeah,
you?
I think the modding community will be 100% fine. People are there's already people working around easy anti-cheat and just not playing the game with easy anti-cheat on. The data miners are
Oh, and
getting through.
that is one huge problem with easy anti-cheat is it's so easy to disable it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, and that's why like the PvP community right now on PC, there are a ton of hackers still going on,
Oh, of
and
course.
it's
Yeah.
the dumbest thing about it is it's all hacks from previous games, like from Dark Souls 2 forward. We've had the hack where you drop a hacked item in somebody's world and it corrupts their save file, so that
Yeah.
they get put on a ban list, or the Thanos snap where you get invaded, somebody walks up to you, you can't hurt them, and then they use a spell or whatnot, and it puts you into an infinite death loop so that you can't play
Wow.
like that character's done.
Nice.
So
Oh,
Old Souls games.
this is like my third attempt at telling people don't get this game on PC unless you plan on just having like a single player experience or if you're waiting for the mod community because the co-op and the PvP as of right now are not promising, and from the software's track record with the PC ports, I don't think it's going to improve too much. But like I said, the PvP and the co-op on consoles, at least from my experience, has been good. I see some people in the chat that are saying they're having issues with the PS4 port.
I got this game as a single player experience. I don't ever go into any of the Souls games looking for a competitive or PvP or PvE or co-op experience anyway. So for me at least,
I don't know. I think the only reason why I picked this game up was strictly because it did have co-op. Like I don't think I
no,
ever
I'm
picked
not.
this game
Yeah,
up if it didn't.
I'm not saying that people haven't. I'm just saying I mean it's not affected me as much because I don't even. I said I've done online once, and that was it. So it was, but I know that you and anyway you've done it. I mean that's how you're playing the game. So
No,
Yeah,
I mean
and
I'm playing the game solo as at the moment because again it's buggy as fuck and
right,
you
but
can't get it.
you were. I mean
But
you
yes,
got it.
I did pick it up with the intention of being co-op in general for at least a portion of the game, and we can't do that. So
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, it's hella frustrating, and I feel bad, like I said, for anybody that bought it on PC with the intent of co-op.
Granted, it's a good game. Like I'm actually really surprised that I like it as much as I did. Like again, I've burnt myself out, but the 50, 60 hours that I put into it, I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I don't think that I personally can't believe that I enjoy it because I'm not a big fan of Souls games. But the game is easy.
I'm happy. I'm happy you're enjoying it, and Sinan, from what it sounds like, you're enjoying it as well.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've always liked Souls games. I mean, they've always been kind of my bag anyway. The roguelikes and stuff like that. So, this, I wasn't gonna pick up because obviously Lost Ark came out and whatever else. But, being a Souls person, I don't have to buy a console to play it. I was like, yeah, I mean, why not? So I mean, I definitely am enjoying. I go in and I'll do what I like about the open worldness of it is that I can go in, I can play like a couple of hours, do what maybe get a couple things done and then put it down and be like, cool, I'm going to go play Lost Ark or I'm going to go play something else. And I'll come back, pick it up, do a couple things, put it down or whatever. So, whereas in most, Bloodborne,
it's super modular like that.
Yeah, it doesn't, it gives you the ability to play the way you want. And I think because of the open worldness, like it adds an element to me that's like a discoverability. Like one of the reasons I loved playing Souls games was because also the style that like, okay, I could build this way, which, it's almost kind of like that air of mystery of like, what if I built this way and this way and this way, and I did this with this weapon and this with this weapon to come up with a build that maybe I've not seen before, right? And so I like that. I also like, as weird as it is, like I feel connected to the world because you do see the ghosts, you do see like the the blood stains and stuff like that. I've always felt connected, like it was a more multiplayer kind of experience because of that.
Yeah.
Even though,
By the way, can I just say don't listen to the fucking notes. Like never listen to the fucking notes because one of them told me to kill that white-faced Varrier or whatever it is. It was like kill this man for good loot or some shit like that, and I was like, oh okay, fucking why not? Locked me out of an entire fucking quest line because I killed that guy.
Yeah, I mean, there's kind of like a known thing that comments and sections are going to be really trolly, especially
I
ones
don't play these games
that are going to be like, "Hey, try to jump here," and you're like, without looking down, you just jump with blind faith, and you'll end up dead. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I mean, like I said, the only issues I had with it was the very beginning with the texture loading and the glitching. I went away, came back 2 weeks later, and it's been perfectly fine. So. I've not had any issue whatsoever. So I mean, yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's fun. There's still an air of mystery to it. And I think that the only thing I will say is that I think that with this game specifically, because there's so much hype around it and so many people are playing it, that it is kind of hard to keep yourself from being spoiled and like getting stuff ruined. So try your best to kind of stay off social media because part of this versus like other stuff and other games that have come out that are Souls-like is that this one has so much to explore that really like if you go in and look at content that is specifically around it, you're going to spoil yourself and like you're going to, some of that mystery is going to go away. So yeah. Also, they did announce that that 50 wall hit very well is probably a glitch. That's not
It
supposed
is.
to
Yeah,
be there.
it was
Certainly
something that
hope so, man.
they forgot to
we
remove.
we
It's a
we
glitch.
talked about this a little bit in depth the other day, but like if that was intentional, that's fucked up, man. Like
100% fucked
I
up.
I
that's
I
a
don't know.
straight up waste of my fucking time. And Scruffy's over here like, oh, I love that
I don't
shit.
think it's that fucked up. I think
Hitting the fucking wall 80 times. Oh, let's go, baby.
it's so integral to the fucking process or the progression of this game. I think if they had a wall like that took years to find and be like an awesome Easter egg, I think that's fine. I mean, you see games that do it before.
I don't think I've ever seen a game that it took 50 hits to unleash a fucking hidden wall.
There's a fucking wall in Lost Ark that literally has the entire community beating the shit out of it to try to get through.
Literally, yeah. If you were trying to do that alone too, like you would literally be sitting there for like probably an hour at least, maybe less.
What
but
I would
still,
what I
for
would
a
and-
while.
And my personal opinion on that is that's dumb. I fucking hate the fact that you have to look for Makoko seeds that are in fucking completely hidden areas in the black void of space. It's stupid as
I
shit.
mean, I don't mind it.
Waste of
What
fucking
I
time.
would say on this that I
Well, we can move over to Lost Ark if that's a perfect segue into the next topic. 'Cause I know you guys have been playing Lost Ark.
Sure, we can move into it. Give me 1 second. I need to make sure I find the right one because hold on, I was not the order I was going to go into.
While we're segueing, I sent something in the podcast Discord. It's a Twitter video. I don't know if you can pop it up easily.
Not easily, no.
So the people that did Bloodborne PSX are working on Bloodborne Kart, like Mario Kart with Bloodborne characters.
Nice.
Oh, God.
I'm all for it.
That's hilarious.
I'm all for it.
It's officially announced on their Twitter, and it'll be ready when it's done, is what they say.
I am all for it.
Wow.
People have way too much time on their hands.
Dude, it's fucking it's hilarious, dude. It's so fucking funny.
So yeah, we talked about Lost Ark. And obviously, yes, myself and Enigma are still playing it. Scruff, I think you're kind of playing it on and off.
I haven't played too much of it.
But still really thoroughly enjoying it. I know Enigma has got some pain points, and I think we all have kind of pain points there in regards to the honing that's in the game, and the grind that maybe not the grind, but the I forgot I was playing music during this stream, so it's gonna pop up with that. But the whole like element of what it takes to actually get your gear leveled to where you need to be, and mainly I don't think it's necessarily the fact of what it takes, it's the fact of how Amazon and subsequently Smilegate are handling it, and handling the patches. So the issue that is there, right, is that like we all knew that this game released and it was going to release as a game where it was going to it's free to play and it was going to have a grind, and it was also going to have a paid element. And the big thing here is that it is the honing when you get to try to get to tier 3. Like once you get to a certain point, your honing percentage becomes like 20%. And so, and it's not like you're getting a copious amounts of these materials to be able to continue to hone.
That's the problem. Like that's the major problem right there, is that not only are we not getting the needed amount of honing materials to get us past that hump, they actually removed honing materials from us in a ninja nerf.
Right.
Like they didn't say anything about it. They removed honing materials from us from Chaos Dungeons and Guardian raids. And then they were like, "Oh, hey, look, guys, we're gonna bring out these new events that you can fucking do to get honing materials," but they didn't do anything about the honing materials that they removed, right? So essentially, they just removed complete attempts from us for no fucking reason, and they never said anything about it. It wasn't anything on the patch notes. It was a ninja nerf,
So
that's the biggest issue that I have right there, and I think that's one of our buddies that plays it like religiously or used to, Ataxius. That's one of the things that he's so upset about right now, is because they came out with patch notes when it was going to first release, saying that any attempts were, from tier 1 all the way up to tier 3, the entry level to tier 3 were going to be plus 20% honing rates, right? Like it was going to be pretty much guaranteed from tier 1 and tier 2 and then we were going to have an additional 20% honing rate on tier 3, right? That's what the catch-up mechanic was in Japan, Korea, and Russia. That was what they had promised that they were going to release the game with. They didn't do that. They deleted that from the patch notes, in fact, without telling anybody, right? And so it's now, I would almost say like 3 things that they've done that are very, very shifty and not being
So
said, right? Like there were 3 ninja patches. Like today itself, there was a ninja patch that removed we were able to buy tier 3 gem boxes on the marketplace. They ninja patched that. You used to be able to buy 20 of them. Now you can only buy 6.
So
So
okay, so I went when you sent that. I went and spent the last like half of the evening looking through Smilegate's records and like their old patch notes and stuff like that from like the Korean and Russian game. And I've been a very big proponent and like defender of Smilegate. And that this I lean more on the fact that this is more Amazon than it is Smilegate. The research I found
I'll be
like
partially Smilegate though.
does so yeah. So here's the thing. So the research I found is that Smilegate has been like on the Russian and the Korean side, very, very upfront and very like transparent with all of their stuff for those two those two sides, right? So their game on the western side or eastern side has been very transparent on what's being patched. They've been very open because they went through a phase at the very, very beginning, which was like they got hit and they got slammed for a lot of things that they were doing that were uh you know not
Shady.
not shady. No, it was just like very like pay to win esque, right? Like all
Yeah.
these things that were just like they were looked at very poorly. So they changed. And over the last 2.5 years, 3 years, they have gotten a reputation of being extremely forthcoming to the point that they were like, Gold River and he is another the Final Fantasy 14 guy. I can't remember his name.
Yoshi P.
Yeah, Yoshi P. Like basically saying he is Yoshi P. Like he is another Yoshi P, right? So I really think like I lean heavily on the fact that I think that this is a lot of Amazon's doing in the sense that like they're like, this game is successful. We can go in here and do it because they released this event. So Gold River has not been exactly quiet. Like, and you have to go through and like, you can look on Korean forums, you can look on stuff like that. And that's where you're going to find him. Obviously he's not going to go onto an American Lost Ark server and post or forum and post stuff. But
Well, see, that's the problem that I'm seeing with him being like, oh, I'm the Yoshi P. I'm a Yoshi P developer. Is that like Yoshi P would go on the American forums and be like, this is fucked up.
yeah,
You need to stop
I don't,
this.
but I don't like, we also don't know what Amazon has got as far as like restraints on that, right? Like and I'm not saying that it's not that Smilegate doesn't have some sort of responsibility here. Like obviously do. It's their game. And at some point in time, yeah, you should stand up and say, look, like you're fucking destroying this. Like you're destroying what this is and the potential that this has, and you're pissing off. We're losing people left and right because of these style of things. Because the change that you're talking about for them like changing the amount of tier 3 boxes you can get is a direct response because of the fact that now they have another event in, because they have the one that's the Arcasia Grand Prix,
Yeah.
which I like. I enjoy that event. And then the Guardian event that's happening now, where you have to face 3 Guardian bosses at once.
Mhm.
You get a material, so you're able to buy tier 3 stuff there, but they limit. I think you can only buy.
You only do it once a day.
Is it once a day? Okay.
But
Well, you can do the event once a day.
Hold on. There's a little bit of a confusion there. We don't know if there's like a translation issue or whatnot, because technically you can do it multiple times on multiple different alts. So we're not sure if you're only supposed to be able to do it once a day roster, or if that's once a day per character.
But the items that you get, the coins that you get, are still locked to the character. Are the rewards roster based though?
I think the rewards are roster based, yes.
So-
and then the rewards are locked on a weekly basis, so
Right,
you can
so
only buy a certain amount every
That's
week.
that's what I was gonna say, was that the so they basically, what they did was, instead of basically leaving the the drop rate, the honing rate, the purchase rate of everything the same, and then adding this on in the event, Amazon Amazon and Smilegate, because it's the same, it's the company, send out this thing that were like, hey, we're going to add this to make it so much, make it easier for you guys to get materials. But what they did was they basically brought down one and then released this other one, so it's the exact same fucking thing. So it's not like you're getting more, you're getting the exact same thing. You're just doing a different event to do it.
Exactly.
So that's where Ataxius is, and a lot of people's frustration is coming into play. I mean, I understand it. I swear to God, I really wish that Amazon never had a chance to touch this game. Like,
Yeah.
I just
The biggest problem that I see with this game right now is like they had a peak when they first released of 1,324,761 people on Steam. Right? The last 24-hour peak was of 411,862. Playing currently as of 22 minutes ago, there's only 270,000 people playing the game.
Yeah.
How many?
270,000. 271,000 technically. 200 almost 271,000 and a half. So that's a huge fucking drop, man. And then, and granted, again, it's a month after release. You're gonna see a huge dip in player base on an MMO a month after release, but that's a huge dip.
To be fair, though, that's less than Elden Ring.
It is less than Elden Ring.
Yeah, that blows my mind for an MMO that I would never expect.
Well, I would also
part in that too, though.
Yeah, I would also argue that Elden Ring has a huge part in that because a lot, like I stopped playing Lost Ark to go and play Elden Ring.
I can guarantee as soon as Elden Ring dropped, you probably saw that drop.
So I don't know. It's a rough one, man. Like I can't sit here and say that I'm happy with the current state of Lost Ark. Like I'm currently getting into the end game stuff where I'm 1300 plus. I think today I just hit 1330, 1333, I think. And I'm starting to see the lack of materials even with this with these added events and everything like that, right? Now granted, I'm not one of those people that goes on and has 6 fucking alts and does dailies on all 6 of those alts. That takes way too much time. I'm not one of those people that's willing to go and do infinite chaos dungeons for 12 hours a day. I'm not willing to do that. I don't think you should have to do that. That's ridiculous. I'm not spending 12 hours a day grinding the same shit over and over and over again in an MMO. That's just bad design choice, in my opinion. If that's how they want it to be, that's rough. That's going to be rough. That's not how the American and the EU and the NA player base.
That's not how the Russian and Korean versions are.
Yeah.
So like
that's a big contention too. Is like our game is supposed to be being caught up with RU and Japan and Korea, but we're not being treated the same as RU.
Right.
Japan
So
and Korea.
and that's why I lean in the fact of like I have to believe that like Amazon's got their boot on the throat at some point and is applying some type of pressure. Now, and again, at some point, like where does Smilegate go and say, "Fuck you, I'm done with it"? Like this is bullshit.
That's my biggest that's my biggest contention right there, though, is that like when we first started looking at this game, and all the stuff that we've been reading and all the stuff that Gold River has said that Amazon doesn't have any actual like tangible say in the direction of the game. It doesn't look correct. That doesn't look like that's the case right now.
Right. And maybe
so it's either one of two things.
Yeah.
It's either Amazon has a lot more say in the game than what Smilegate is wanting to tell us, or Amazon and Smilegate are in this together and they're like, okay, well, let's get as much money as possible.
It's hard for me to see that as, because the game is very successful over in Korea. It is very successful in Russia. It's very successful in Japan. And I don't know. I mean, again, maybe I'm just a fucking, fanboy of Smilegate and this game. And granted, I am not where you're at, but I will say, like, I sat here today and I watched Rich Campbell and Asmongold together collectively dump $1,500 $1,500 real world dollars worth of
that's
materials
a small amount
to get one upgrade on a weapon.
That's a small amount too. Like there's people in this game currently, like one of the higher tier and highest, I think one of the highest gear score players on our server on the NA East server is like 1760 or somewhere around there, right? I can't remember what exactly his gear score is, but he's dropped like 15 grand in the game so far.
Yeah, that's insane.
That's
Like
crazy.
that is I mean that is legitimately a problem. Again, this game should be brought to where where RU and the Korean servers are at. And to be 100% honest, like if it continues down the path of where it's going and they're not going to change it, like they're going to see an exodus of people that are just going to be like, fuck it, I'm done. Like
They're already seeing an
I mean,
exodus. That's the problem. We're already seeing that. Like there's a lot less people playing the game now. Again, whether that's because they're playing Elden Ring or they're playing other games or not, or if they're upset with the way that the current, player base and the current way that the game is being developed and such. That's two different things. But the problems that we're seeing right now is the honing rates, the extensive need almost to buy materials with real life money, and the issues we've been having with bots. Like even today, they put out a patch that was supposed to stop bots in their tracks, and it hasn't.
It's not.
It hasn't even come close.
It's not gonna. Yeah, I mean they're not gonna stop bots in their tracks. That's not. That's not there. So I don't know. I mean it's a and okay. So chat's being like there are other MMOs. You're right, there are, but like I'm not.
We're not saying that there aren't.
I'm not gonna go. Like I enjoy Lost Ark for what it is. I enjoy the game. I am not like I am not a min maxer of being like I've got to get my gear score all the way up. Now, yes, I understand to get to in-game raids, to get to in-game content, like the raids and stuff like that, you have to be at that point to be able to get that. My fear here is that like I don't give a fuck if it takes me 6 months, a year, whatever else to get to that point. Like I don't have to I'm not going to drop $15,000 to get to that. I'm not going to drop $10,000 to get to that. I'm not going to drop $1,000 to get to it. Like I will do the content that's there. I'll sail around, do the map. There's plenty of stuff for me to do. But the problem is that once I get to that point, if they've drilled the community down into a point where there's not enough people to even run the goddamn raid, what's the point of it, right? Like, so that's.
Well, they did come out. They did come out and say that they agree that they released Argos too early. They had a whole like spiel the other day, like a couple days ago, that was like, this is what we did. We shouldn't have done this. We shouldn't have released Argos this early. This was a big mistake on our part, and we're sorry for that. And I'm glad that they can like recognize that. But the problem with it is that they need to recognize it and then fix it.
Yeah, and see,
And if the only way, the only, personally, in my opinion, is the only way to fix that is to give us that 20% extra honing rate. These events, this is not how you do it. Like this is just a band-aid. Again,
but
Amazon is really good about making.
Right, that's what I was gonna say. This all feels so Amazon, right? Like this just feels like what Amazon does. They did it with New World. They're doing it here. It's the same fucking shit. And I don't know. So the only real fix I see here is if Smilegate and Gold River literally goes, we're done. Like we need to move, or they go to Amazon and say, get the fuck out. But like, how are you going to go to Amazon, the largest company in the world, and say, get out? Like, you know what I mean? Like you're not going to tell them like, hey, you can keep our stuff, but you're not going to touch anything. Like that obviously is not going to work. So I don't know. I don't know how. I just hope they figure out a fix. Like
that's if they're not complacent with it.
I don't think they're complacent with it, man. I
don't know, man. There's not a lot being said by Smilegate when it comes to this. Like I understand that you're saying that on Korean forums, that Gold River is saying that he's upset about it, but he needs to say that on public American.
But there very well could be a gag order on them from. I mean, that's not something that I would not see Amazon do. Amazon being like, we control all publications and PR that's going to happen for this game on the NA side of things. Like that's completely doable on their end.
To me, if it comes down to ruining your reputation with a brand new audience, I would break that contract.
Oh, I would 100%. Absolutely. I would have broken it already, but it's just what it is. So. Anyway, that's Lost Ark.
In other news, New Worlds is peaking at 36,000 players.
Yeah, that's pretty good for New World, man.
I'm surprised, honestly.
And considering I think when we looked at them last time, they were only at like a peak of like 22,000.
Well, they just announced their roadmap for this year. So
Oh man,
they're announcing new
They're
area.
still on a month by month decline though. Like they
of
haven't
course,
had a
yeah.
positive month yet since release.
I don't. I think that game will get
There
shut down.
won't be. Yeah, it's gonna be shut down.
It's gonna shut down. Yeah, I personally feel that they're probably gonna. It's gonna just go down the route of
Can't
Crucible.
foresee it even lasting another year,
Yeah,
honestly.
so it's just gonna get shut down, like Crucible and the rest of their games have done.
Yep. Moving on. Scruff. What is Baby Yaya? What is this? Baby Yaya?
Baba is you.
Baba is
Baba
you.
is you. Yeah. It's a really, really interesting puzzle game. And it's so honestly, it's hard to explain. So the best way you'll ever get a good understanding of this game is actually visually seeing it. So that's a great part about watching the stream and actually being able to see it. But if you're not, I recommend you go check it out so you can actually understand it a little bit better. But essentially, it's a puzzle game where you are controlling this little rabbit character named Baba, and your goal is to beat each level and continue. And to do that, to beat the levels, you have to kind of manipulate the words. It's essentially a word puzzle. You have to manipulate these words that will take effect on the world around you, pretty much. So, just so I can have an understanding of actually being able to explain it a little bit better, this current level we're on, you're stuck in a box, and there are like each object has its own trait. So there's a wall around you. The wall is stop, meaning you cannot move the wall, you cannot push the wall, you cannot go through the wall. It is just a wall. It's stop. But there's another one that is a word of push. And if you were to push that word and make it so it is wall is push, you can then push the wall and get out. This level is not the case. It's a little harder than that, but that's just a general kind of idea of what you can do in this game. You can even go as far as your own character has a trait where it is Baba is you. If you were to do something like wall is you, you would become the walls of that level. It's crazy. It's mind bending. There's a lot of like freedom of what you can do and what you can create of trying to
Are there
figure out and
multiple ways
solve
to
these
beat a level?
levels. Oh yeah, 100%. Some levels not so much, or it's just very hard to beat it in multiple ways. But a lot of levels, you have that freedom to do really interesting like ways to beat it. Like in one, I think in this level actually, I managed to make the star the walls made out of starfish, and then make it so I could push the starfish and get out. It's all really twisty. It's all really weird, but it's such a
That's
fun,
neat,
cute
dude.
little game. Yeah, it's really cool. And honestly, I think I don't know. I think it's only like $15 or something like that, but it's really, really good for the price. I think it's a really good puzzle game
I'm
that
trying to
really kind
find.
of
So
twists your mind.
you have it like I'm
Oh,
close
yeah,
to
so
where.
I made all the wolves keys.
Yeah, I don't.
That was it.
I'm waiting. Yeah, I'm trying to find the
You're
exact
trying to
spot.
find it. Yeah. So I push the key. I believe I probably push it to key is wall or something like that. Wall is key. Yeah. And so all the walls then became keys. And I don't know if this is where I actually solve it, but I did something along the lines of solving it that way, of making all the walls keys and then being able to push my way out or something like that. And the main objective is that there's that at the top of the screen, there's that win box, and you need to pretty much give an object the trait of win and then reach that object or interact with that object in some way. So if I were to make key is win, all I would have to do is touch the key and you would win. That's how you progress and you beat the levels.
Huh. You know, I would. This game,
crazy,
I feel
man.
like I would fucking rage at this game way more than I would rage at like Elden Ring or any other Souls-like game. I'm just like,
Yeah, some of the levels are
No
really
shit.
twisty, really, and just they really test your patience because
like
you
it.
just don't know it. Yeah, it's a lot of fun though.
huh? Okay, interesting. You can get this
Yeah,
on Steam.
Baba is you. What's that?
You can get this on Steam.
It's on Steam. Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, one of the games that myself, Enigma, and Scruffy are actually playing is a game that we talked about on last episode, which is Core Keeper. But that was the demo, and we actually got the full release here. Well, it's early release, early access.
Early access still, yeah.
Still, but yeah, the game's actually a lot of fun. I mean, it's I think we called it. It's a mixture of like Stardew Valley meets like Terraria kind of style, where there's a lot of like hidden elements and things that's not really told to you like Terraria, but you have the element of like the perspective of Stardew Valley, the farming and things like that, but there's no social aspect to it. Like you're not having to like romance anybody or whatever, or any kind of crap like that.
Down to the core, it is essentially a sandbox survival, much like Terraria, but in a more simplistic way. You know, it's not as in depth as Terraria goes, I'd say.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun. I mean, we've been having a blast with it. The online works surprisingly smooth. You have your own characters that you progress, and you level up, and you get abilities, and there's an RPG element to it. Obviously they're working on dedicated servers. They're, at first we only thought there was 3 bosses. Then we realized like, nope, there's a whole nother world that we end up, or like element that we end up going to, and also the kind of stuff. And like there's unique things that they don't tell you. Like you'll see a vendor, and then like I'm not gonna spoil it and how to get the vendor to show up, but like you'll beat a boss, you'll get an item, and then you could possibly get a vendor that shows up in your world, and you can get them to like move into your house and things of that nature. So there's a lot of like cool elements to it. Different kind of guns.
I don't want no random motherfucker moving into my house.
You do when you when you get the shit that they have. So, and there's stuff like
you do when he sells you grub meat, bro.
Yeah.
Right?
And you get it. What's the bazooka that we got last night? The grub launching bazooka or some shit like that.
Yep.
Whatever else. So
in the Grub Club.
I feel like this is innuendo somehow.
But it's cool, man. Like there's definitely like, it's a perfectly blended game between the, those two, and I think it's a perfect meld, right? Like it's just enough of the Stardew Valley that you want, that you can feel like that, and it's just enough of the Terraria to like feel like that, but not overwhelming on either side. And you get some RPG elements that are in there. Like it's a very well done game. I love the art style. I know we were all kind of geeking on the art style for it, and yeah, I mean it's been super enjoyable. I've yet to have anything that I've like.
Surprised you like the art style since you shit on Terraria so bad.
I don't like Terraria being a flat.
I mean, he likes the art style of this, but he shits on fucking Harry Potter. The new.
Okay,
Harry Potter.
hey, save it for the podcast.
We'll get to that. Save it for the podcast. I'd say it's enough of a difference between Terraria to I don't know, to differentiate it.
The Terraria aspect of it is, and I said it on I said it on my stream. I was like, I would play Terraria if it was this perspective. I don't like the perspective that is Terraria. I don't.
This is more of an isometric perspective of games that you love, you know. So
So I like this art style. I like this perspective. So don't know if you guys want to add anything to it. It's a fun little game. $20, right? I think on Steam, or $14 on Steam.
Oh, less. It's like 10 to 12, I think.
Yeah, it's like really? 10 or 15.
Definitely worth picking up. I mean,
10.
And again, play with your friends. Like it's
$13. It's 1 to 8 players. Dude, I love the game. Honestly, in the past years, I think it's one of the better games of this genre. Honestly, I think it runs really smooth. It plays really well. And like you said, the multiplayer and co-op aspect of it is pretty flawless, honestly. I haven't seen too many issues with it, maybe minus like the map or the actual like visibility of other players. But honestly, other than that, like it is a lot of fun. I think it's got a lot of it's got a lot more content than I thought it did. We did find out that, well, I don't know if you consider how many bosses as a spoiler, but I think there is only 4, I think we found out. But either way, that's a lot more content than I thought it was going to be releasing with. And I can see a bright future for this game through, a lot of more updates to add much more to the game, a lot like Terraria does. They're still adding stuff to Terraria. So I think if they keep up with it, this game's got a really bright future in this genre.
For sure. Okay, so I can close that out. I can close that out. I can close that out. All right. And the last thing that we're going to talk about in this section before we jump into news is a game called This Means Warp. So this is a game that I had on my wish list and I had been kind of paying attention to for a little while. And it kind of surprisingly came out. And super down with it, man. I've been having a blast, and it's a remote play. I've been playing with Scruffy and Enigma, and
Panic.
and Panic. I forgot. Yep, and Panic. Sorry. But
This honestly reminds me of Livers in an Infinite Space Time.
Oh.
never
played that one before.
So this is FTL meets Overcooked. Essentially it's a single player or co-op, and you can do remote play together, so one person can buy it and up to 4 people can play it. But it is a co-op FTL, so I mean you're basically just going around. You have upgrades, guns to shoot. This game is also, if I'm not mistaken, I think in early access still. You progress just like with FTL. It has an element where the farther you progress, you unlock more characters, you unlock more ships. You have bombs that are going to go like right there. You can see, I believe that was Scruffy. I think
I'm the croc. I'm Pants.
Yep.
I was always Pants.
Oh.
So he was like carrying a bomb that like got shot onto our ship that he had to take and incinerate. You pilot, you navigate to different little areas. There's different like zones and like things that'll happen that you can choose to do. Again, very, very much like FTL, but upgrades to your ship, defensive loot, offensive loot, cooldown mechanics, leveling up your character. You can go outside the ship, which you better be in a spacesuit.
Outside the ship without a spacesuit.
The other cool element that I like too is like you can shoot the walls and like you can suck the other crew out. So like if you're another tactic is just to like disable a weapon and then shoot the wall next to the weapon so that they can get out. The game starts off super easy and gets fucking super goddamn difficult real quick.
It's steep too. Like it goes from 0 to 100 real fast.
Yes, it does.
That's FTL, man. FTL went really, really hard.
Yeah.
Really quick.
Yeah. It's like everything's smooth sailing and then boom.
But again, I think it's another like $14 to $20 game, $15 to $20 game on Steam. It's fun, man. I mean, again, it's a lot of fun. If you have a family, pick it up. Local co-op, it's great. Online, it's great.
What if you don't have a family?
Remote play.
What if you're alone?
Well,
actually, if you play single player, it does give you crew members.
Yeah, it does give you crew members.
Crew members are not the brightest.
They're basic AI.
This fucker here, I forgot what his name is. Like Winston.
Bob.
No, that's not Bob. This is Winston or some shit.
Oh.
Or whatever else. This fucker we kept putting on, like right now we put like you can see his little face, and he's supposed to be on the repair duty. And fucker jumps on a gun. He's like, fuck that. I'm just going to start shooting shit. Or whatever. So, I mean, they do okay, but they're not the brightest bulbs in the bunch. I don't know if I would want to go a single player game with having all fucking 3 crew members. So, it might be a little rough, but anyway, it's fun. It's a fun little game. Definitely worth the money. So, all right. Well, on that note, we have covered everything that we've been playing, and we are now moving into the news. It's the news from P-Patch Team. There you go. All right, that's our new
P-Patch Team.
P-Patch Team.
P-Patch Team.
We're the P-Patch Team officially.
The PPs.
I don't know. I'll remix it. I'll make it sound better next week. Don't worry. Next episode.
I like it.
Yeah. So, OBS officially on Steam.
On Steam Deck. On the Steam Deck.
On Steam.
No, it's on Steam.
Yeah, okay. That's what I was looking at.
I guess it is on Steam Deck.
Yeah, I get. Yeah,
you could install
it.
Yes,
it is on Steam Deck.
So that's what I meant to say is the reason I think this is honestly coming to Steam, or a big reason, is because of the Steam Deck coming. I think it then gives people another option of streaming off of the Steam Deck in some way with OBS being on Steam. I don't know.
I think it opens up to a lot of areas for like remote play. It opens up where they can basically allow you to get into this from a remote connection and be able to stream that way. I think
one of the things that I brought up was like one of the major ones that I have an issue with, and both me and Sin have an issue with, with streaming VR titles is that there's no easy way to access your OBS through your headset, right? Like there's no built-in headset OBS. So
Right.
this technically in some way kind of gives you, I think, a little. I haven't tried it yet, but I would imagine it's going to give you a little bit better access to OBS and such.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at least that's what I'm hoping, man. That would be really nice if they finally had like an easier way to be able to stream your
Well,
headsets.
the
I
other thing.
was I was surprised nonetheless of this just coming to Steam. I was like, what the
Well,
never thought about it.
here's the thing that I didn't think about it until today was it's fully open for mod capability, right? So
Yeah.
like the ability to open this up to Steam mods and say, hey, because OBS is already open, but if you don't know how to code for OBS, well, then it's a problem. Well, I mean, not saying that.
It's not too hard to. I mean, all it does is require like installing extensions. Like unless you're really talking about like
I'm
deep
talking about deep
modding
mods.
it.
Like I'm talking about deep mods. Like really being able to open this up and like really cut into it. Like the ability to, again, like we talked about for like VR. Like I guarantee you that within probably the next 5 to 6 months, someone will cut this thing open and be able to go, hey, this is how you're going to do VR. Like this makes VR streaming 100% easier. Through OBS. Not saying it's not, you can't do it now, but it is difficult. Like there are a lot of things that are a pain in the ass when it comes to VR streams. And again, the Steam Deck, like now the ability to have that on a Steam Deck, like fuck, that's great. Like that's awesome. Like I can, remote play, all of that shit. Like there's a lot of cool things that it can do to be able to kind of combat, or just give this some legs. So it's cool. It's the only thing I don't like about it is I'm like, Steam isn't exactly the lightest platform in the entire world. And so you're running that on top of that, which I mean, most things you're running Steam anyway, but like, how does OBS know? Like Steam does not like running 2 programs at once.
That's what I was gonna bring up. Yeah, that's my only
I was
concern
under the
is
impression this was just another installing method, and that outside of that, there's no difference.
From what OBS is saying, they're saying that they're basically giving Steam users the same suite that they would get with any other game. So that's where the modding thing came into play for them. I mean, maybe it is just a launcher. I don't know, but I mean, people are kind of speculating that they're going to open it up more.
I would imagine this version might be a little more taxing, maybe not. Or if you do open it up to modding it, then at that point I would assume it would be more taxing.
Yeah, I don't know. It's again,
Oh.
It's interesting. It's
an option.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's something.
You have it now.
So,
yeah.
Yeah. I know this is a topic that we are all just itching to talk about. But I could not put it in the news. Fortnite turns off building and is rumored, their data miners have come across data that basically is saying that this is not going away, that this is going to be a forever, possibly a permanent thing. I don't want to say forever.
Yeah. Like a permanent separate game mode.
I could.
Sure.
That's what I was gonna say. I could see it being a building off game mode.
I mean, there's talks of them, like a lot of your bigger streamers, a lot of your bigger content creators, your competitive people are saying that if they keep this and they only allow it for it to be building in creative mode, then we're back. Like we're coming back. I mean, that's where like Fortnite has steadily fallen off because of.
They're never gonna not have building in some game mode of Fortnite.
Well,
maybe
like I
this
said,
will replace the main game mode, but they will still have.
Oh no,
building
yeah,
option.
It'll be in creative for sure. Like creative will still be a thing, but
Just creative.
I
mean like an official 2 official game modes, and I think that way that having this no building game mode will bring that audience back, and then they'll also have another one for the audience that does enjoy the cranking 90s or whatever.
It's so funny because you see, like my kids, like I kind of litmus test my kids on this because my one son is 12, and he's that I'm cracked at Fortnite, my guy, like kind of kid. And then I've got my other one who is about to be 14, who is like Valorant. And my youngest son started playing Valorant more. And I was like, hey, like, is this interesting to you? Like, how do you feel about this? And he goes, well, Fortnite's dead. And I was like, well, why? And he goes, because we want to be able to build and we can't build anymore. And now all the sweats are going to come in there because they're good at shooters and couldn't get. And so you go and watch, I'd watch him play. And I was like, yeah, absolutely. I was like, dude, if you 1v1 me in a real shooter, I'm going to completely destroy you. In this, I
But-
can't fucking sit here and do this with building, like, where I take one shot and it literally is just like, and I'm like, what the fuck just happened? Like, or, you know, so it's, I don't know. I would be interested to try it again if it is a more permanent thing. To say, because I hated building. I fucking could not stand building in Fortnite, especially new building, the new shit.
Yeah,
So-
it's too much. I used to enjoy like the actual aspect of like the building and fights and stuff, but then it got out of hand, I think.
Yeah,
at
it
some
just
point
it
there.
got crazy. I mean, when you would lay down one shot and then somebody would just build this fucking
Yeah.
Eiffel Tower behind, like, around you, and
Exact to the Eiffel Tower looks
yeah,
exactly
and it's just like perfect to it. So, I mean, that's where Scruffy got his start, man. Scruffy became a big time streamer on Fortnite. That's where.
true.
Yeah. So moving on. Enigma talked about this a little bit with Amaranth, but good old G4. You want to talk about going from one side of the spectrum to the other side of the spectrum? If you aren't familiar with what happened previously, it's not going to make much sense with what just happened. But previously there was an issue with Frosk, where she made this huge speech about how G4 and gamers and like completely full chill against like sexuality in gaming and like, you know, women and, you know, how they're being used as sexual objects and it's terrible or whatever. Obviously it didn't play well, and we talked about this, so we're not going to dive into that part. Well, last week G4 was like, hey, let's bring out a hot tub and have full of balls and have Amaranth come out in a very revealing bikini and just like, you know, I mean, yeah, that was it. And now like talking about like being the host of, you know, or possibly being a host on G4, like, I don't know. It's just, again, from one side of the spectrum to the other.
What were they, like, desperate for views or something? Like what?
Oh yeah, they were getting fucking nailed, like nailed to the wall because of all of this.
Guys, what do? We need ideas. Amaranth.
I mean,
Didn't
they're
they do like a big change in content like recently too? Like over this last month, they like are shifting focus towards like some sort of game show type thing.
yeah. I mean, they're going back to what like the X plays, the Attack of the Shows, like that style, back to that like. So what they were doing was more. Honestly, I don't even know what the fuck they were doing originally. Like, it was not like this. It pretty much was a platform for all of them to get up there and speak their political and ideological views about whatever, and then throw in a game review here and, you know, say, hey, we're a gaming thing, but that's not what it was. So now they're moving into like this idea of like, hey, we're going to bring back the stuff of like Attack of the Show, right? Which was pretty much just a game show. I mean, that's that, or not a game show, but like a talk show. Like that's what that was. And you know, now they're doing like the Austin show, which is what was his name on Twitch? Fuck, I forgot. He was like, he had like a big talk show, game show thing that he used to run where he would do like dating games and things like that. And like The Bachelor, but for you know, gamers or whatever. So yeah, that's where G4 going. I don't know, man. G4 is not G4 anymore. It's nowhere.
It's not G4.
It has been
Like
for a while.
I was really hyped whenever they were coming back, and it was slowly suffocated, like with a pillow in the middle of the night,
Oh, absolutely.
gasping for breath, and there was none to be had.
I mean, I was so looking forward to like original X Play, original Attack of the Show, original like what was the I think it was called Gauntlet, was like their ones where they pit two people like two teams against each other. I mean, old school G4 was amazing. Now it's just I don't know, man. This is it's sad, whatever it is. So Tribes of Midgard. Enigma, you've been quiet. This is unlike you. Are you still here?
He
Still-
said, "Be right back." That's why.
Oh, he had to go pee or something. Okay. All right. Well, Tribes of Midgard, I'll take it on for me. Came up with a pretty big patch update, or not patch, but kind of talk for what 2022
Is it out? It's not out yet, right?
No. So this is their dev blog. This is they talked about what's coming. I think it's let me see, roadmap updates. next season is going to be their biggest one. Saga 3 debut, so it's the next saga. So no, it has not come out yet.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
And basically, what they are doing is turning it into a more kind of survival style, if I'm not mistaken. Like basically, like an actual like survival based game where, you know, they're improving construction. They are improving the RPG elements, like the leveling elements there, and that you're not going to have like your Jotuns that are just like straight.
Be as much of a tower defense anymore.
Right. That
Yeah.
mode will still be there, but it's not they have another mode that
Like-
is going to be this.
Yeah, yeah. And I think with the similarities that it already has to like Don't Starve, I think it'll just become more of what that game is. So I think it'll be very similar to the, like Don't Starve now, this new game mode, which I'm all for. I think that's going to be a lot more fun. I loved the actual tower defense and everything that the game had to offer, but it got a little old, I think, a little too fast. I don't know. That's for me.
Well, it just became. I think the problem that it became is that it got to a point where like you had to make a conscious effort of like, what am I going to do? Like, am I going to choose to stay and defend the base, or do I choose to go out and fight this fucking Jotun? And then it eventually became a point where you're like, you're fucked because you can't do both. Like, I can't effectively defend against this Jotun that's coming and crashing down and do the defense style of it. So. You know, eventually what it turned into is kind of what we were doing, where we were like, okay, cool, we're going to do phase 2, phase 3, and then we're going to just get it out. And then we're going to go back in, do phase 2, phase 3, get our stuff, get out.
Sorry about that. What are we talking about?
Tribes of Midgard.
Tribes.
Yeah, you're topic. You gotta get on this.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. No, it's looking good. The new update. I don't know when it's gonna be coming out, but it does look. I don't know what you guys have talked about already. I don't know if we need to
Just
explain
kind of
that or not.
what the update's a little bit about, but go for it. What are you excited about?
Yeah, man. It's I think you were just talking about this. Like this is basically what we wanted from, well, like, what I wanted at least from Tribes of Midgard originally was like a more of a survival type, almost isometric survival tower defense game, right? That's what it was originally like kind of pushed as, and then they kind of changed it a little bit, and they were like, okay, well, it's less of a survival, it's more of just a tower defense game that has survival aspects to it. And I'm like, okay, that's fine and everything like that. Like I enjoyed the game for what it was, what we got, but I think that was what the entire player base was kind of under the assumption that we were going to get, and that's why they've changed it so much. Like this is a complete 180 from what they originally had, right? Like they're basically stripping the entire world. It's barren, and you have to make your own town, essentially, right? There's no longer Jotuns coming in to destroy you every night. It's a constant danger. The Jotuns are out there in the world. You can go and fight them if you want to. They give you the materials for the weapons and everything like that, and it almost turns it into more of like a. I wouldn't really say it's like a Dark Souls, but it kind of has a Dark Souls-esque feel where you're like, okay, I need to go and take on this giant fucking monster to get a weapon, right?
I think it feels kind of Valheimish, right? I think it would move
Valheim,
more
yeah,
Valheimish.
a bit
in a way.
Valheim, yeah. Valheim also takes stuff away from like, Dark Souls and Monster Hunter and everything like that, right? Like you go, you fight this big impossible boss that has mechanics, and you beat it, and he gets XYZ in return for it, right? So I don't know. It seems like it's going to be a fun time. From the few like images that we've seen from it, like being able to build your own base seems kind of cool to me, because that was one thing that I complained about when we were playing. I was like, man, the layout of this city is shit. Like I wish I could redo the entire layout of the city, because
And there was no real big incentive on actually laying down like.
well, they
a
didn't
base,
do
like,
anything.
of the
Like
defense
the walls
and
and
whatnot.
the defenses didn't actually do anything to stop them from coming. They just tore through them with ease, you know. So it was one of those things where I was like, I don't know. I feel like they kind of missed the mark on that part, but I'm glad that they're kind of taking a step back and being like, okay, well, this is what our player base wants. We're going to give it to them then.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. It looks like a I mean,
and they've added in a lot of stuff. Sorry to interrupt you, but like I haven't been back to it recently, but they've added in like sailing. They've added in new continents, like new island and land masses and new bosses.
You can actually swim now.
Everything. Yeah.
You don't just die.
I would definitely be very interested to go back to this whenever this update comes out.
I'm gonna go back to it when the update comes. 100%. Yep.
Yeah. So
I forget. And it's pretty. It's like, is it also 1 to 8 players or something like that? It was something like.
I can't remember exactly how many. I think the max that we had was
It was at least
you,
like 6.
you, myself, Sin, Bill,
and Ataxius, right?
and Ataxius,
And Solid.
Shelador.
I think it
and
was. I think it is
Solid.
8.
Players.
I think
It was up to 10 players.
Yeah, I think it was 10. Yeah,
Yeah, with this new game, I think that's gonna be a lot of fun having
it's
that.
be crazy, man. It's because the maps are fucking huge. Like, let's be real. The map is gigantic, and them adding in sailing as well as other islands, that just makes this thing huge, man. It makes it so fucking big.
It's exciting.
There you go.
I'm looking forward to it, man. It's looking good. On top of that, I don't need to derail it even further, but on top of that, we have an update for Valheim as well that added in not the Mistlands, the Snowy Caves biome, which added in an entire new faction of enemies that you fight against, and as well as like a new weapon and armor set. So it's crazy, man. Like all the Viking themed games are coming out with some amazing updates. The next one for Valheim is the Mistlands, which look fucking insane.
Nice. Did you ever want
Hell
to,
yeah.
real quick, don't mean to go backwards, but you weren't here. Did you want to add anything on G4?
I just thought that was fucking hilarious. That the Frosk, one of the major things from Frosk was, don't label us as sex objects, and then they did the exact opposite of what she bitched about by labeling another woman as a sex object. So
Okay.
yeah.
Yep.
Cool. Good to know.
Good
All
times.
right. There you go.
I was just
Um,
impressed that just a Minx chugged an entire bottle of lube and didn't throw up.
Right?
Wow.
Yeah.
So I
Women
will.
aren't sex objects, and they didn't want to be based on sexual, content. But
Makes me feel uncomfortable, honestly.
Amaranth pops out of a
Hot tub full of
kiddie
balls.
pool, a kiddie pool full of blue balls, and talks about how she's dealt with blue balls. So
Yeah.
and then somebody chugs an entire bottle of lube. Yeah,
It's great content.
good job, G4.
What I will say is, you know what? It's people like you, Wes, be playing in our chat that says either way, individual stress like individual streamers, okay, like you put out better content anyway. You're damn right, and you're the reason that we do this stuff, man. You guys are the reason. So fuck G4, come watch us. That's what I'm saying. We objectify everybody in this channel. We don't just not just
Actually, from what I hear, you can't actually watch G4 anymore. It's now labeled as X-Play. There is no more G4.
Oh, so they're just full blown leaning into X-Play, huh?
Pretty much, yeah. They've stopped the G4 re movement and are going full bore into X-Play. I think if you go on YouTube and you type in G4, it goes straight to X-Play. If I'm not mistaken.
Okay, whatever. Just
G4
kill it.
TV.
Just take it out in the back like Old Yeller and shoot that fucking shit.
Yeah. If you go on there and type it in, it literally comes up with X-Play.
It's great. Awesome. Next in the news, Square Enix and Qualcomm announced a partnership. And this may not sound super exciting to a lot of people. But the big thing here is that their whole idea and like Qualcomm's whole concept is AR and the XR and like the VR space. And they are very much like adamant about making that like mixed reality like a thing, and they work very heavily with like HTC, and they work with Valve, and they work with Oculus or Meta, and so they are very heavily in this space, and Square is wanting to step into this. So like they're really wanting to work on an AR kind of mixed reality experience for future uses, and I think that with Square's catalog of games that they have published and that they have owners and rights to, I mean, I think it'd be dope as fuck, man, to be able to have like Final Fantasy fucking being around me, and I'm literally like in the world of Final Fantasy, or I'm in the world of well, please don't put me in the world of Marvel Avengers because you just completely shit the one on that one. But like Just Cause or Tomb Raider or whatever.
And Sin just wants big titty bunny bitches
What?
all around him.
Absolutely not.
Kingdom
I'm looking at
Hearts.
Final Fantasy
Let's
7.
go.
Fuck Kingdom Hearts. I don't want to be in that world. Fuck that shit.
Kingdom Hearts. He wants to be able to pet Goofy.
Yeah. You know what's crazy about Goofy? Why is it that Goofy can talk but Pluto can't, and they're in the same universe? They're both dogs.
Ask questions. Don't ask
He's not a
those
dog.
hard hitting.
Who's not a dog?
Goofy is not a dog.
The fuck, Goofy's not a dog.
He's not.
What is he?
I think he's a cow.
He's a goddamn cow.
I'm pretty sure. If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure Goofy's a cow.
You have fucking drank yourself retard. He's not a fucking cow, bro.
I don't know what. I don't think he's a. I don't
He's
think
a dog. Anyway.
The reason why they think he's a cow is because when he was originally drawn, he was in a patch of like cows and horses, and one of his wife is a cow, or
his wife's a cow.
wife was a cow.
He's a
Then
dog.
she killed herself.
He's a dog, bro.
Whoa. Okay, I think he is.
We will talk about.
And anyway, so yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think it's a cool thing, man. I think it's a great partnership. I love like I want more companies like this to really dive into VR, AR, MR, and as long as they're not getting into the ASMR, that's great. Like dive into it, man. We need companies
Where once NFTs and Web3 and Metaverse and their shit.
All right, well, we'll save that for another podcast because I
was about to say, don't get him started on NFTs because him and I had a gigantic
topics.
conversation the other night.
I have topics to bring up on
3
that.
hours long.
All right, we're not talking about it. Shh, stop it. No.
Was it about the boxer?
No. We'll talk about it later. Don't worry. So anyway, that's happening. They partnered up. So excited to see the news coming out from that. All right, we are going to go to this because I'm going to burn through the quick hits and then we're going to spend the rest of the time talking about this. So quick hits. Stranger of Paradise released. It's on PS5 only, or is it PS4 and PS5?
It's on everything. I'm pretty sure.
It's on
It
PC
is
too,
not
yeah.
on PC. I looked.
What?
It's not on Steam.
I thought it was coming on PC.
I'm pretty sure it's an Epic exclusive.
Oh, maybe an Epic exclusive, but it's not on Steam.
It is. Yeah, it's on everything.
Yeah,
Microsoft
right here.
Windows, Xbox.
It's not on
PlayStation.
Steam.
It's an Epic exclusive, basically.
Yeah, Epic Game Store. Yeah.
Okay, so it's not on PC. Don't go buy it.
Womp, womp, womp.
It's on Windows. I'm sure it'll be on. I'm sure it'll be on the Xbox Game Pass here pretty quick.
Okay, so that happened. Sony bought Haven. If you don't know what Haven is, shocker, no one knows what Haven is. They're creating a game, a live service game for Sony. So Sony just bought them. Sony, that's what Sony does. Overwatch 2 beta is set for April 26th. If anybody gives a shit. So you're gonna get your PvP version, and then the PvE is gonna come later. So Overwatch.
That game was canned.
It was canned, but
That
then,
was too, yeah.
Microsoft came in and said we're uncanning it. And now it's whatever.
Speaking of that, they also came out. Not World of Warcraft. Blizzard came out and said that the next World of Warcraft expansion is not, and I quote, for a very long time.
So that means Microsoft said, "Get your shit together, man. This is fucking bullshit. You're ruining the IPs that we purchased. Quit it." Nightingale came to Steam, or is coming to Steam. It's not
Coming to
Yes.
It's coming to Steam. So
Yeah,
I know-
that's great.
I'm hoping. I'm really
Though.
hoping that doesn't mean it's a timed exclusive, but I guarantee you, with the fact that they got bought out by Tencent, it will be an
If
Epic
it's-
exclusive.
Even if it's still a timed exclusive, I will wait.
I will too. Yeah.
Only because I was planning on suckering in and getting on Epic, but
He was planning on being a
I will wait.
goddamn Epic shill.
I know, it's pathetic, but I wanted to play.
And to answer that question, we have talked about No Man's Sky fucking episodes ago when it's relevant. I mean, so when No Man's Sky releases new content, we'll talk about No Man's Sky.
I mean, to be fair, they do release new content on quite a regular basis. It's just none of us really play it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Well, it's
I
not.
don't
It's not
see it
like
anywhere.
I mean, if we talked about every game that releases new content, fuck, we'd be here forever. I mean, it's if they release a large update, that changes a bunch of shit.
We've talked about it a few times.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about No Man's
we
Sky.
talked about
To
it
be
in
fair,
the
No Man's
past.
Sky does do that with pretty well every one of their patches.
Yeah,
Right. I'm just
No,
saying.
that's what I was about to say though.
It
Is
Stirs anything
like
though.
we talked about it when they released the last patch with the fucking evolving ship or whatever it was. So
Yeah, I just want to make like we do talk about it. It's just again once they release something massively groundbreakingly, fine, we'll talk about it again.
we're not saying it hasn't redeemed itself.
Yeah.
We've
No
said
one has said
multiple
anything
times
bad
that it
about
has
it.
redeemed itself.
Fuck,
It's a good game.
I played No Man's Sky on the VR. I think that's a remarkable experience to play on VR. But
It redeemed itself after Next or whatever.
Have you ever
like,
slept in No Man's Sky VR?
No,
I don't
I hear
sleep
it's wonderful.
in VR. Period. What do you mean, like actually sleep?
I could say that, yeah.
No, like,
if
actually
you
sleep.
slept in like the ship with like the hum and shit going on, that'd be some nice background.
Yeah, man.
noise.
I can't sleep with something on my face. Like that's just
Yeah, that'd be weird.
unless it's
that
my
would
never.
be a little
Never mind, I'm
weird.
just gonna stop. I'm gonna go into a place that Mama Scruffy wouldn't be proud of me.
anyways, what are we going on to?
All right, let's get it going.
Is this it?
Let's talk about this shit. This I don't understand. People like fucking lost their mind when they saw this. I don't get it. I don't understand it.
That's because it's fucking Harry Potter, man.
Potter,
Like,
Yeah, I get it's Harry. Okay, it's Harry Potter. I understand.
The hardcore Harry Potter fans will lose their minds over anything Harry Potter.
you realize the last time that we had a Harry Potter game was back in like 2006.
Yeah, like
I just don't think that this game looks good. Like looks like I'm
Are
saying
you a Harry
looks
Potter
like
fan?
not graphically. I'm not saying like
I don't know what the fuck you're watching, but I'm watching
Dude,
some pretty fucking amazing looking cutscenes right now.
I'm not talking about cutscenes. I don't give a
think
fuck
it
about
looks good.
cutscenes, man. But this looks like a game in my mind that was developed last generation. Like it's a last generation game. Like it looks like a PS4, Xbox One early gen game, and people were just like being like, "Oh my god, it looks amazing!"
I think
and
you're,
like,
I think
I
you're
don't-
smoking something, dude.
Yeah,
It's-
I think you are
this,
too, dude.
This looks like Baldur's Gate 3 to me.
You're
This looks
fucking
like that
crazy.
new
Am I crazy, dude? What?
this looks like that
fucking
new game that
crazy.
they're releasing on the PlayStation. I can't
Don't say
remember the name of it,
Forspoken
but-
because you're fucking crazy.
Yeah, Forspoken,
It does
man. That's
not look
exactly
like
it. Yeah.
Forspoken. You're
Yeah,
fucking
dude,
out of your
like,
mind.
This 100% looks like Forspoken.
Oh
man.
my god! Let me ask you a quick. Wait, let me preface all this. Let me go down the line. Enigma, are you a Harry Potter fan? Like, are you a big Harry Potter fan?
I mean, I read the books, yeah. in the-
Are you
in
a
the
big
past.
Harry Potter fan? It's either like
I would say I'm a huge Harry Potter fan, but I'm a
There
Harry
is
Potter fan.
there's a debate on this. Like, you can be a huge Harry Potter fan,
Yeah.
or you can just be a general, just an avid.
I'm
viewer
just
of
saying that
Potter
in
and
Exactly.
how I'm looking at it is that I think if you're a huge Harry Potter fan, that there's an element of this being like, oh my god, this game looks fucking amazing. And I'm
anything.
sorry, this
Yes.
game does not look that great.
I'd say, and I don't want to speak for you, Enigma. I think we're just avid enjoyers of Harry Potter,
I
right?
mean, again, I'm not a huge Harry. I'm not going out and fucking watching and consuming all the content that releases. But I have an appreciation for the fucking title, and I have an appreciation for the game. I remember playing the game when I was a kid.
Like
Like-
this stuff does not. I just don't think that this looks like fucking.
I think you're just trying too hard to be different, Sam.
That's
I'm
what
not- I
that's
just
what I
think
told him.
it's
That's what I told him
good.
last
It
night.
looks
Was
good.
I
You
think
were
he's
like,
just
I don't have
being.
anything to argue about on this podcast.
I think he's
so
just
I
being
gotta
controversial
not
to be
Harry
We're
Potter.
controversial.
exposing this podcast. Sin is only saying this to get some sort of content out of this podcast.
Yeah,
It's
that's
it.
what
That's
it's.
it.
I'm a content shill. I'm just looking for fucking
Yep.
ways to make myself go viral. No, dude, trust me, there's plenty of things that I could do that fucking make me go viral in ways that I'm saying stupid
Yo,
shit.
just wait. Just
Well,
wait
hold-
until Twitch After Dark.
Hold
Yeah,
up, hold
exactly. Just wait.
up. We have some stuff going on in the chat. Okay. Yes. In the past, there was a lot of Harry Potter games that were released. In the past. Again, the last game that was released that was a Harry Potter game, and I could be wrong, because again, I don't consume all Harry Potter content. But the last game that I remember playing and being like, holy shit, it's a Harry Potter game, was like 2006.
No, I think somewhere around there.
I was
PC.
like 16, and I was like, dude, this is great. This is awesome. It was like on PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
Dude, this does not. I'm just look at it. Just doesn't look good, man. Like I'm not gonna say it's not playing. I'm not gonna say it's not a good game. I'm just saying graphically, I don't understand why
crazy,
people
bro.
are fucking losing their mind. It
I
does
think
not
you
look.
are
It looks
insane.
like. It looks like Shadow of Mordor when it came out, like Shadow, whatever the fuck that game was called, Shadow of Mordor, right? Like that was
That was the first one, yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's what it
but
looks like.
I also I don't know.
I'm not saying those are bad games. I'm just saying it does not look good. Like
I think
graphically.
you
I
are
don't even think
insane.
Federal of Mordor looked bad. I don't know how you view graphics.
I think that you are letting your hatred of Harry Potter.
I
get
don't
in the
have
way
a
of
hatred
looking
of
at
Harry
this.
Potter. I own every
Obviously,
single fucking
you
movie.
do.
You do.
I own every book. I own every movie, and I've watched them. And I've not read them because I don't care about reading enough to give a shit to sink my life into that. But like, I've watched those movies multiple times. I've gone to the movie theater to watch them. I like Harry Potter. I'm not saying it's a. I don't. Am I gonna get a Harry Potter tattoo? No. Do I own a Harry Potter wand? Yes. Have I been to Harry Potter Land and Universal? Yes. Have I drank butterbeer? Yes. Like I'm not.
So see, you're bigger a Harry Potter fan than I am.
Okay, so then I don't sit here and say it's because I have a dislike for Harry Potter.
I think you do, though.
What the-
I
did that dude-
legitimately
did that thing
think
just
you
shove a
either have a
fucking brush
dislike
in
of
his
Harry
crotch?
Potter or you're just being controversial to be
I'm not. I
controversial.
just don't think that the game looks good. Like graphically, I don't think the game looks good. Like I don't think that it looks as crazy good as like what. Definitely not Forsaken. You're fucking crazy. You are
If it looked
fucking
like
crazy.
Tetris, if this was like a Tetris game, you'd be on top of this.
Oh
You'd be
my
like,
god, you guys can all go fuck
Would
yourselves.
be
That's what I'm saying.
valid. This would be valid if this game came out looking like Babylon's Fall, but it didn't, and it's not.
I'm not saying it looks as bad
over
as
here
Babylon's
like
Fall.
what,
I'm just
what's
saying
that
it doesn't look
MMO
good.
that you guys like playing? Project
Project
Gorgon. It's
Gorgon.
like if this was Project Gorgon graphics, I'd be all over this shit.
Look, I don't understand. Wait, can legitimately? Am I not like? I'm not saying it looks as bad as Babylon's Fall by no means.
It looks better than Elden Ring, in my opinion, and Elden Ring looks pretty good.
Exactly, man.
You're what?
To me, it looks like Forspoken, whatever the fuck that new game is. Like it has the fidelity, it has the lighting effects of that
crazy
game.
if you're gonna tell me that you think this game looks like fucking. I'm not talking about cutscenes. Wow. Okay. Sorry, my wife legitimately came in here about to scream. Duke won
Because
what?
you're shitting on Harry Potter.
Because you're
Did
shitting
they
on
win-
Harry
hold-
Potter,
Did
bro.
they
yeah.
win? Oh, well, that's great. I'm happy. Yes, in the middle of a podcast. I don't know what it said. Huh? Okay.
Yeah.
My wife's
I don't know
bracket's
what you're
great.
smoking,
Sorry.
man. Because like when I'm looking at this, I'm like, yeah, this looks like current gen graphics.
It's not. It absolutely not.
It 100%.
I guarantee you.
I
We
guarantee
can
you.
loop on this all day.
Okay,
but
like,
let's
I don't know.
I
We
guarantee
got 18
you
minutes. We
this-
got 10 minutes.
I guarantee you. Wait. I guarantee you, this game will give your 3090 when it releases a run for its money.
Okay. I disagree with you, Bill, saying that this game looks better than Elden Ring. I run Elden Ring on the highest fucking settings, and that thing is fucking gorgeous, man. That game is.
I do too.
That game
Yeah,
is.
I can do that now.
Yeah, I know you can, and that game is fucking gorgeous. And to say that this game looks better than that, I don't know. I mean, let me.
I
But the
genuinely
thing is,
think it
he's not
does.
saying Elden Ring doesn't look gorgeous as well. He's just saying that this also looks gorgeous.
I don't think it. I don't think it does. And also, too, I've seen this shit before where we get this crap where it's like, yeah, this is what the game looks like, and then we get it, and it doesn't look fucking anything like this shit.
I agree with you, but we're not going to be able to see that until they actually release gameplay footage. That's why I tell people don't base your decision on buying a game off of the very first trailer that they drop.
Like, I just think I see this gameplay.
I think this looks
and
good.
This is fucking. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it. Okay.
That's fine. I guess that's it. That's end of story.
But anyway, Hogwarts Legacy. Is there a date for this of when this is coming out?
I don't
Did they
think
announce
so. I don't think they released anything.
the date? Hogwarts Legacy. Who is Portkey Games? Are they anything? Did they get made just for this? I know Avalanche Studios. Who did Avalanche? Hold on. What has Avalanche made? I've heard them before.
Portkey Games is just a label of Warner Bros.
Avalanche Studios. They have made Hunter Call of the Wild. A lot of Hunter Call of the Wild. Some game called Contraband. Why does that game sound familiar? And Second Extinction. Yeah. Okay. I don't know. Anyway,
Enigma, you played the old Harry Potter though, where you had to like collect the chocolate rat or frogs and whatever. And
Frogs and you had to go to classes and shit. That's the exact same thing as this. Man. Like you're gonna have to go to your classes, and people that are Harry Potter fans will nerd the fuck out on that shit because I did when I was a kid. It was a great game. I had a lot of fun with it. It was a very challenging game back in the day.
the Dementors in that game
Yes. So was
scared the shit out of me as a kid. I couldn't do that. I had Mama Scruff do that level for me actually.
so was Aladdin on Sega Genesis. It doesn't mean that it was a great fucking game.
What?
He said it was difficult.
I didn't say that it was a great fucking game because it was difficult. I just said that it was a difficult fucking game.
Yeah. Just trying to make up arguments.
Simmer yourself down, sir.
Bro, it's been 3 weeks since I've been able to poke bears, so I haven't had a chance to poke bears. So, anyway, Bill, who you telling to calm down? Who you telling the chat to calm down?
Simmer down now. You know.
Everybody, just take a step back, man. Just take a step back. All right, well, that's it. We are out of stuff. If anybody doesn't have any questions, actually, I stand fucking corrected. We are not done. Hold on one second.
Oh.
Let me just hold the goddamn phone for one fucking second. We have this amazing, beautiful sexiness that is in. Why is it not showing the full? Okay, sorry, Bill. It's cut off, but I did my best.
Did you actually do your best?
I really try. I don't know how I could get this to like show the full fucking thing, but
that makes me a sad panda. Britt worked real hard on that.
I'm trying to hold on. Maybe I can fucking fix it. Hold up. Oh, wait. Boop. There we go. I can't do below. I can't go any lower though. So
that's fine.
Now it's gonna be fucked up for next week.
Yeah, I'll fix it. I can just hit Control Z. So, Bill, what's going on, man? What is this? What is this for?
So, it's my annual birthday charity stream for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. We are going to be starting it up tomorrow night around 10:30 p.m. And then we are going to do both Saturday and Sunday long streams there. Try to get 29 hours total through the weekend for my 29th birthday. And yeah, like I said, charity for the American Foundations for Suicide Prevention. Got a lot of milestones there. We're wanting to raise $2,000. We got very close to it last year, so I think we can do it this year. But we have a lot of milestones to keep things interesting, and the theme for the incentives this year is hot sauce. I have a large quantity of Hot Ones hot sauce that I need to get through, and this is going to be an excuse for me to get through that hot sauce. So we have very high temp sauces for the various individual donation incentives, and then the milestones are just for fun. Some like one-off things like a birthday pie in the face for $290, my 29th birthday pie to the face. And then we have some like
Fortnite
other
dance.
things.
That's great.
Yeah, I don't know how to dance. I don't know how to floss. So for 500, once we hit that milestone, I will pull up a video tutorial and teach myself a Fortnite dance. It will probably be flossing.
How are you going about the Elden Ring? If I get hit, I get shocked. How are you shocking yourself?
Oh, a dog collar.
Are you allowed to do that on YouTube?
Right. Yeah. Did you not see Mizka fucking shocking himself and his guests with a dog collar on Twitch?
Yeah.
YouTube. Yeah, I can't imagine Twitch really likes that so much, but YouTube, I'm sure you get by with it.
Okay.
Yeah. Nah, it'll be it'll all be good. It'll all be good.
And didn't last year you almost puke with the trash can G Fuel?
Yeah, that's why it's as high up as it is. It was an individual donation. It was like a $50 donation incentive last time. This time it's actually a milestone because it was that bad.
Yeah, it's fucking gross.
And I have more flavors than I had last time. So.
Wait, what does that include? That's just everything, right?
It's every flavor that I have in stock, which I have 20 plus flavors. So yeah.
Right. What's like a bad mixture? Isn't there like a coffee flavor?
There's coffee. There's moon pie. There is spicy mango. There is dragon fruit. There is snow cone.
Now I can see why this
is Bahama Mama. There
sounds
is
good,
blood orange. There is
that all sounds great.
Cactus.
Do you have prickly pear cactus? Is that any good?
Huh?
Is the prickly pear cactus any good?
It's delicious. It's in my top 5.
Wow. Are you
nothing's beat hype sauce or tropical rain, but it's pretty damn good.
Are you going to? That's not one full scoop, right? Like please tell me you're like.
No, this is like very like
little amounts, right? Like.
Yeah, because I don't want to overdose myself on
I
caffeine.
don't want to fucking have a heart attack because one of the milestones should be resuscitating your ass whenever you fucking keel over.
No, it's enough to get the flavor, but with 20 plus cans of G Fuel, I need to keep the powder fairly. It's bad. It's real bad, man. But
what
the
time
biggest
time
thing
zone again?
This is Eastern time. So tomorrow 10:30 p.m. Eastern time. Saturday we'll be starting at 11 a.m. Eastern time, and Sunday we will be starting at 1 p.m. Eastern time. And like I said, we're going to try to get roughly 29 hours of streaming done over the weekend. A lot of Elden Ring content there's going to be some community night content on Saturday. Some of the milestones involve gaming. At the $1,000 milestone, we'll do a full playthrough of Five Nights at Freddy's 2 because I've only played the original and it freaked me out. So we'll give that one a go. And then at 1500, Jump King, which I only have seen people screaming and breaking
I did not
controllers
make it far in that game
playing,
at all.
So
game is
very
tough.
excited in giving that one a try as well. And then if we do hit the $2,000 goal, I am sacrificing the beard that I spent all winter growing to the charity. So that's the ultimate tippity top of the donation pie.
Nice. And this is YouTube, correct? This is being streamed on YouTube.
Yep, this will all be streamed on my YouTube channel, Billy the Squid with a K, SKWID.
I don't care what charity y'all are doing. I ain't shaving my beard, bro. You are bigger man than I am, apparently. No sir.
Hey, I mean last time I cut the hair off on top. This time we're cutting the hair off the face. So big changes come from these charity streams. Changes that could shape the entirety of the Billy the Squid brand moving forward. So you could be a part of that.
I mean, essentially what he's doing, he's just moving down the list. So next year it's gonna be his entire chest. That's all getting waxed off, and then
next
it's gonna be
the chest.
Then it's gonna be his ass and
yeah.
I
nether
actually
regions.
did waxing last charity stream. Waxing was one of the milestones. So.
Fuck that, dude. Yeah, I'm all for raising money, man, but I'm not fucking waxing.
It was
my
armpit
chest.
and a chest wax.
Absolutely
so one
not.
strip across and then one
40-year-old virgin.
Fucking Kelly Clarkson.
But yeah, I'm really excited. I enjoy doing this around my birthday. It's something that's very very close to me, something that I want to raise awareness and support for, because I feel like everybody's had suicide touch their life in one way or another. So
yeah, absolutely.
Something we can all get down with.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
So there you go, guys. Make sure you tune in again Friday 10:30 Eastern on Bill's channel, Saturday 11 a.m. Eastern, and then Sunday 1 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you go over there, donate to a great cause, support a great streamer on YouTube over there, and show this man some love. Let's get his beard shaved off. Next podcast, I better see that bitch fucking baby smooth.
Babyface Bill.
Babyface Bill. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna leave this up while we do our outros, but for the Pre-Batch podcast, that is episode 55 in the books. Thank you guys all for being here, whether you're in our live streams participating, whether you are on any of your Google apps or Apple apps or wherever you're Spotify, wherever you choose to listen to us. Thank you guys for the support. I mean, I know that we do this and we have a blast, we have a good time, and we always kind of preach about the going and listening to us and whatever else, but we see the numbers, we see how much you guys actually come in and you guys do participate, and we hope to give you something a little bit different, because I listen to a lot of gaming podcasts. I know that these guys listen to stuff out there as well, and there's really not, like, we are very original, we're very authentic. I mean, you're not going to get anything else but authenticity here, so we appreciate everything that you guys do. So continue to support us in any way, shape, form you can. Like I said, make sure you go out there and support Bill on his next 3 streams, specifically for this amazing fundraiser. And we will catch you guys next time. See ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye.